Now we're going to go ahead and foam roll the hamstrings, and we can combine this with the calves. Essentially what we're doing is, if we just work on the calves first, we're just going the length up and down of the calf, so you got to get that roller in place. And you do kind of have to lift your body a little bit to go up and down. What oftentimes with the calves, you're going to find some good knots. This again can be done with a softball. So you're just going to kind of roll side to side. Janelle's using the opposite leg right now to help add a little bit of pressure, and just find those knots. You'll find those in your calves. Oftentimes you don't need to kind of roll back and forth, but you just find that spot. Then from there you can just slide right up into the hamstring and start at the hip or the knee. It doesn't matter because you're going to do the whole length, and you're just going to run up and down from the glute right to the back of the knee, trying to keep it as smooth as possible as you go. And again, just like every other kind of a roll, you're going to stop and dig into those real sensitive spots. Make sure you're breathing. You can rotate your leg. Remember, there's a lot to your legs, so rotate it from side to side and just find those sensitive areas. Work your breathing. Roll, stop, roll, and just loosen everything up, backside of the leg. Foam rolling the inner thigh. This is one where you kind of lay face down, you kind of get your leg out, think like almost like a dog in a fire hydrant, right? And you want to put that roller right up into your crotch, and you are literally going to roll the length of the inside of your thigh as high as up as you can get, all the way down into that inner knee. And you can actually spend some time in that inner knee area as well, right on the muscle there, and just work back and forth, digging in. You find some sensitive spots, you're going to probably find some good tightness. The inner thighs can get very, very, very tight here, so spend some good quality time here. Take some nice deep breaths. You find a really sensitive spot, stop on that spot, take a few inhale, exhales, and then of course you can just roll back and forth on it. Just really dig in and understand that you're going to kind of have to move and pivot your body a little bit, but once you find some good spots, once you work this on a regular basis, you'll see some tremendous differences in the way you move and feel. All right, so we're going to foam roll the front of the thigh, the quadricep muscles. What Janelle's going to do is she's going to go ahead and lay on top of the ball, and you can start at the knee or the hip. It doesn't matter which direction you start in, but the idea is you're going to roll up and down the full length of that thigh. Now, a couple of ways you can do this. For some people, they're real super sensitive. When they do this, it kind of hurts really bad. So breathe through it, go up and down, hold those sensitive spots, just like we do with all foam rolling. But you'll notice that Janelle right now is doing it with her opposite leg on the floor, and that's going to make it much easier or less aggressive. If you need more from this, you can take that opposite leg, put it on top of the leg you're working, and now you're basically fully elevated, except for what's touching the roller and then your arms, and that's going to put more weight, more pressure into the roller as you go up and down. So now we're going to roll the side of the thigh. Want to get technical, we're kind of going up and down along where the IT band is. We're really kind of rolling the vastus lateralis muscle, is the side of your thigh, to be non-technical. And what we're going to do is essentially from the knee to the hip, roll the length of the thigh. You'll notice she's got the opposite foot on the ground. What that's doing is that's taking a lot of the pressure off of that thigh, because this could be a real sensitive one for folks. But if you need more pressure, you just stack your legs and you get after it. All the way from the knee, all the way up into the hip. Take your time. You might feel some bumps in the road, and when you hit those bumps, kind of speed bumps, go back and forth over them, breathe, and just get after it. Half kneeling ankle mobility. So Janelle's in the half kneel position, which is the 90-degree angle in the front knee, 90-degree angle in the back knee. What she's actually going to do, she's going to drive forward, and she's going to try to push that knee past her toe. Yes, she's going to try to go past the toe, but keeping the heel down. Ultimately, what we're trying to do is just create some mobility in that ankle. The ankle becomes super tight, and it impacts a lot of lower body exercises, squats and lunges. So keeping the heel down, big exhale as you drive forward, go as far forward as you possibly can. Come back, relax. You can hold the front position for time, or you can do repetitions like you see Janelle doing now. Hip flexor and quad stretch. So what we're going to do, we're going to start Janelle off in that half kneeling position. The front knee is at 90 degrees, the back knee is at 90 degrees. We call that the 90-90 position. She's using an AirX pad. You can just roll up a towel or mat to get some padding on that knee. And what she's basically going to do is just kind of slide forward, keeping great posture in the spine, of course, and then don't lean forward. You don't want to bend over at the hip. So go ahead, Jill, just demonstrate what a lot of people do is they'll just kind of lean forward and lean into it. That's not what we're looking for. We're not looking for ankle. This is not an ankle mobility exercise. That's something different. She's actually keeping her body really erect, straight up, and she's sliding forward. And a great thing that you can do is, and she's putting her hand on her hip flexor. That's what we're trying to stretch. One of the things I really like to teach people to do is actually put their hand on their glute and flex the glute, because when you flex one side, the muscles on one side of the joint, the opposite side will naturally stretch. For many people, this is going to be enough to get this hip flexor stretched and even the quad. If we want to get to the kind of the next level, we go ahead and we grab that foot from behind, we pull it in. Got to have a little bit of balance, up nice and tall, breathe, and now we're really getting to stretch. And again, we're not leaning forward. The taller we get, the more we squeeze that back butt cheek, the more stretch we're going to get through that hip flexor and then down through that quad.